The Countdown Conspiracy, Chapter 7, Part 1. I heard things didn't go great yesterday, Mr. Burnett says to me after class. I'd been trying to pack up in a rush to get back to my room to show off Ruby to Najma, but that plan is now thwarted. I fail, I say. I'm fine now. Mr. Burnett sighs. I heard it was a bit more than that. You should talk to Lizzie. I know she wants to help. Lizzie has texted me several times, trying to set up a time for us to talk, but I've been ignoring her messages. I don't deserve her help, and talking isn't going to change anything anyway. I know. I shove my tablet, scroll in my bag, and move to leave. Hey, Mr. Burnett steps forward, blocking my exit ever so slightly. Hold on a sec. He runs a hand through his messy hair, then rubs the side of his face, obviously having no idea what to say to me. He's just trying to do the adult thing, and it's only getting more awkward by the moment. I shoulder my bag, but don't make any more effort to leave. I'd feel kind of guilty not hearing him out, since he's trying to help. Did you know that the first 2 times I applied to work with Dr. Schuber, I got turned down? Mr. Burnett asks. I shake my head, not really sure I'm ready for Mr. Burnett to share his personal story, but realizing that's exactly what I'm in for. He nods. Yep, flat out rejected. Twice. I just wanted to get my PhD as his student, but instead had to get a job for a while out in the real world. Scary. He laughs, like this is something I should also find funny, so I offer a small smile. I ended up working for Valor Heart Industries. They're a big military supplier who was hiring a lot during the war. Do you know them? Maybe not. Anyway, I did programming for them for 2 years before the peace treaty got signed. Then I got let go. Another failure. Mr. Burnett sighs again, this time overly dramatically, clearly watching for my reaction. I mentally run through a list of what I can respond with. Well, if they fell apart because there wasn't a war to make stuff for anymore, that's not really your fault, I start. Exactly, Miranda. Mr. Burnett beams. You see, circumstances can sometimes make you feel like you've messed up, but it's not always that simple. And the happy ending to my story is that I then reapplied to work with Dr. Schuber, and this time was accepted. That is a happy ending, I agree. I can see Najma in the hall waiting for me, and I really want Mr. Burnett to finish his pep talk and let me go. Just keep doing your best, he says next. You're a genius, and your team is going to need you at the top of your game, whether they realize that or not. Yeah, thanks, I say. Anyway, Najma's kind of waiting. I edge towards the door. Oh, yes, of course. I escape to the hall where Najma asked me what Mr. Burnett wanted. We started walking, and I spill the whole mega awkward conversation once we're out of earshot of our classroom. Najma laughs. Aw, it sounds like he was just trying to help. Yeah, but he's worse with social cues than I am, I say as we head back to the dorm together. I was trying to leave, and he just kept telling me his life story. How difficult for you. Najma's words sound sympathetic, but I can tell she's still secretly laughing at me. Too bad mind reading isn't real. Imagine how much easier things would be if we all knew what everyone was thinking. Oh, yeah? You want to tell Esteban what you're thinking. I grin in her direction. Hey, Najma protests. That's not what I meant. Hi, Esteban. I bat my eyelashes at his imaginary figure in the hall. My name's Najma, and I want to have a big space wedding with you someday. Stop it! Najma smacks me. But she's also giggling, and after a couple more ridiculous lines from me, we both are. Then we round a corner and nearly run straight into Rahim. What's so funny? He asks, straightening up and adjusting the cuffs of his sweater. But we're laughing too hard to answer, so we just flee in the opposite direction, leaving a very baffled Rahim behind. Looping back around to get to our dorm, we burst into the common area, somehow laughing even harder than before. Anna's there, sitting at the touch table, the light from our solar glass windows gleaming off her blonde hair. She looks up, staring back and forth between the two of us. Najma and I quickly shut up, frozen in the doorway. No one speaks for several moments. Then Anna breaks her stare, gathers her things, and disappears into her room, slamming the door. I wince. Think she's still mad about yesterday? Najma's expression drops, and so does her voice. I don't know, but Miranda, I think she was crying. A lone crumpled tissue lies on the chair where Anna had been moments earlier. My eyebrows furrow. Crying? Anna? Raheem isn't the only confused cadet at this base right now. That night, I spent some time talking to my family. After Emmeline gets done saying hello to Ruby, I tell them about what we're learning in class, about the physical challenges our mentors have issued us, and how I'm hanging more with Najma. I don't tell them anything else, but my mom is perceptive and insists she stays on the screen with me after Dad takes Emmeline to read her a bedtime story. You know, you can talk to me if things aren't going well, she says. Things are fine, I lie. I'm kind of tired, though, so I may go to bed. Ruby hears the phrase, go to bed, and scuttles off to fetch my toothbrush. Are you still shaken up from the attack? Mom asks. It's okay if you are. What happened to you was very scary, and that fear can linger. It's nothing to be ashamed of. Mom, astronauts don't get scared. Yes, but it's not that. I take my toothbrush from Ruby, who holds it up towards me from the floor by my desk. I'm just tired. Training is hard work. Mom doesn't seem convinced, but she doesn't press it further. Okay, just know I'm here if you want to talk. I'm the worst cadet here. Everyone knows it. I'm trying hard, but I just can't keep up. One of the girls I live with actively loathes me. Thanks. I'm fine, though. Really. Sunlight glints off the ice as Tamaki and Esteban race each other across the rocky terrain toward the hangar. We're practicing in the space plane for the first time today, and I'm hoping it will go better than everything else has been going, especially since Dr. Schubert himself is coming to oversee our first practice. Off the coast of our island, I can see whitecaps roll over one another. A chunk of ice gets knocked underwater, only to bob back up to the surface with a splash. Our group trails Tamaki and Esteban. Najma and Anna chat with our mentors, and Dr. Schubert, which leaves me to walk awkwardly with Raheem. He's just so quiet, which is absolutely no good for me today. The boat attack nightmares came back last night, and I barely slept. For once, I understand Esteban's need to jabber. Pretty exciting, isn't it? I say, my breath puffing out in the air. I mean, I'm excited. An actual chance to practice with real spaceplane controls. This is going to be amazing. Raheem just nods. His black boots shuffle across the ground, and he keeps his hands in his coat pockets, with his arms pinched tightly against his body. I shove my own hands in my pockets. Why won't he say anything? Is he just shy? Does he not want to talk to me? So, I try to think up something else to say. Anything else to say. Do you know Sasha Oskov? Raheem asks, startling me into looking over at him. I shield my face from a sudden burst of wind. Yeah, I do. I thought you might, Raheem says. We're friends. Just online. Oh, cool. Same here, mostly. We reach the hangar. Inside, Esteban is wheezing, and Tamaki is celebrating his apparent win by pretending not to wheeze. Raheem and I are the last two in, and the huge hangar doors shut behind us with a clang. I shiver in my parka, not yet ready to unzip it and give up its warmth after that trek. Dr. Schubert waves us on from up ahead, and we head farther into the hangar, past some engineers and technicians working on what looks to be one of the main thrusters. Did you know Sasha is Kreshkov's nephew? Raheem asks next. My mouth actually drops open, and I stop walking. He's what? I glance at the Russian cosmonaut, who's already reached the entrance to the clean room. How did I never know this? I want to ask Raheem more, but he's gone on ahead and I'm left standing alone. Immediately, I text Sasha, but then I have to hurry and catch up to everyone else at the clean room. There, we discard our boots and parkas, douse ourselves in sanitary sprays, and put on full-bodied white suits to keep the spaceplane's exposed panels free from earthly contaminants. I'm still waiting for a reply from Sasha by the time we head into the main hangar. Our spaceplane glistens under the lights. My breath catches in my throat when I notice the Destined for Mars mission logo on her side. While classes and physical training have started to become routine here, every now and again I'm slammed with a reminder that I am going to Mars. That this is really, really happening. The Ambassador spaceplane will be your home for the 18-month round trip to and from Mars, Dr. Schubert says, giving us a proper introduction to our vehicle as we gather around the stairs leading to her entryway. Know her, love her, live her. Within the next few months, she will be ready for short-range space travel, and after another year of tests, we may allow you 6 to take her out for a spin. Esteban shouts something gleeful and incoherent, and Tamaki offers him a low fist bump. I'm tingling from head to toe, and it's not just because my body is finally adjusting back to indoor temperatures. Now, who wants to see the inside of your spaceplane? Kreshkov asks. Everyone cheers, even Anna, who I notice is gently trailing one hand along the belly of the ship as she moves to take her place in line. Then my droid pings. I look down to see that Sasha's replied. I never wanted it to be a big deal. Exasperated, I text him back. Sasha, your uncle has been to space 11 times. Other than robotics, becoming astronauts is all we ever talked about. Not once did you think I'd find this interesting. A moment later, as I'm inching closer in the line to our spaceplane, I get another reply. I actually worried you'd find it too interesting. Good grief, I shake my head. There's no time to respond, since we're about to climb up into the ship. Our matching white shoes clunk against the metal stairs that lead us to the entrance hatch. Halfway up, Lizzie makes us all stop and turn to look down at her. She takes a picture, grinning.